We'll see you later. All right.
I'm going. Our military is in shambles. Biden must go. Murders on the rise. All that and more coming up on this Caldo Wednesday.
The video is ended. Where's my show?
Huh? Video didn't start? Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning to you.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm trying to coming around the mountain like somebody from a Tennessee football game. I'm trying to get everything straightened up here on Facebook. And
We're live on YouTube.
I didn't even get into the pic today.
Episode, I didn't either. Just threw our logo up there. Episode 1454, I think.
Is that what it is?
By my rough math.
I thought it was there.
There's your headphones.
I'm here. Good morning, my brother.
Let's do this.
Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great friends at Dearland Feed. It's 68 degrees and a little rain shower going on. A high today of 90 after the rain burns off. I would just call it a drizzle ash. I don't know what it was as I came in this morning. About every quarter of a mile,
Yeah.
I get that squeaky sound.
I don't know if the rain's going to burn off. I think we're in for pretty much all day today.
Is this the remnants of what was that big storm we had?
The one we didn't have, Nicholas? Harvey?
Nick.
It's the remnants of Harvey?
The backside of Harvey coming around the bend. Oh, man. A great chat that Bill Posey just had with Mr. Chris Mapp.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I did not know. It seems like Michael Cloud is always having to run for office. I mean, bless his heart. I think he does a great job.
Well, yeah, the next election will be 2022, right?
Right. And Mr. Mapp's quite a success story. We'll see what he has to bring to the mix. Many of you will recall that we had Chris Mapp on our program, I don't know,
a couple of years ago.
4 elections ago for Michael.
5, maybe 6. Who's keeping count anymore?
He ran in the special election when Chris Farenthold stepped
Blake
down.
Farenthold.
Yeah, that guy. Blake Farenthold stepped down.
Yeah. So
don't you miss what was her name?
Deborah.
Tell you what, they are.
She was a hoot.
She was a hoot. Mrs. Farenthold was quite a neat lady.
But Clint Ives first went in. First time he's been first in everything.
Hello, Clint. I spoke with Clint yesterday. He's going to be at the yacht party for signing autographs.
First finisher in the bedroom. Not where you want to be first.
Absolutely. Brought to you by Viagra.
Diane Tippett is in. Good morning. Kieran Webb, David Glass, Marvin Mickish, Lisa Poole, Diana Hawes, Kendra Douglas, Robert Brown Jr., J. Mark Jameson, Tracy Price, Rena Scherer. Good morning, Stuart Martin, Judge Posey checking in. Good morning, Judge. Chris Ray Brissett, Matt Boucher, Scott Tomko, Roy Gutierrez.
They say that ladies are more cerebral, better thinkers. Actually, technically, it's like smarter.
Bobby Leister, Patrick Strauss, Adam Sugar, Tom
You
Price.
sound like Mrs. Ives.
Marty Stockbauer.
Good morning, Marty Stockbauer.
Adam Sugar says, so anyone can come to the yacht party. Yes, anyone can come to the yacht party.
Even you, Adam. Even you. My gut says, Clint says that's fake news.
George Gutierrez, good morning.
That's Georgia, not George.
Georgia.
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 Of Shelby fame.
Carrie Bump.
Carrie Bump, the bump. I am convinced that we have more female listeners than male listeners, and men that are here. Rugged, headstrong men like Judge Posey, Sheriff Louderback, Commissioner Ives, Scott Tomko. Scott Tomko is 60 years old. He'd still pitch you up and in if you got on the plate.
Yeah.
It takes a man to tolerate this show. But the women, the cerebral side of our program, T-Lat will chime in with a little something. Roy Gutierrez, he may be compensating, but he's compensating with 700 horsepower to the rear wheels. He's a Shelby driver. He can handle this show.
can.
You show me a guy on this show, J. Mark Jameson. I mean, the man's a chief. At the police, he's the guy. You have to realize these are men. I think a bird just really, folks. I think a bird just flew, either that or a condor.
It's a little disconcerting when you're 5 floors up and the only way in is that door over there, and all of a sudden somebody's knocking to your right.
Wow, that's a bad day for a pigeon. Thought I'll just fly in there and land with those guys.
Scott Thomas says, even I have to laugh at that, but you keep going, Brent.
Right? Up and in, baby, up and in.
So a lot of stuff we didn't get to yesterday in the wake of
it's old news.
With Jeff Buckney, but R. Kelly gets found guilty. Here's
I can fly.
He ain't gonna be flying. I wonder if he'll be made to sing that in prison.
He's going to jail.
Why does it take another 6 months to sentence the guy? He's been found guilty on racketeering and a whole bunch of sex trafficking charges, and he faces at least 20 to 25 years, I understand.
Is there an appeal process?
I don't know.
Does he have a tour to complete? An R&B tour? He's got, and what's funny
R. Kelly, the ankle monitoring tour.
Right, but he's only touring his living room. You've got to figure the guy's
been doing a bunch of
he's my age. It's not like he's some hip hop guy from, maybe from the 80s. He's a hip hop guy.
90s, I think, early 2000s.
He was discovered late. He is not a young man. I don't know about that guy. R. Kelly.
Sentencing is May. We're in September.
What are they just letting him get his empire? And that guy's going to disappear.
8 months. 8 months.
Yeah.
What the hell does it take 8 months to sentence the guy? He's been found guilty. How come we can have some court cases here where you found guilty this day, the sentencing's the next day? What the hell does it take 8 freaking months to sentence the guy? There's the problem with our court system.
Right. By the way, hats off to you, Ash. We got a note yesterday from authorities that I don't know what you would call it, the little tent city or whatever that was over there by 87 Main Street and the Loop, right there by the Texan store. People were kind of using that as a camp out place, has been somewhat cleaned up. I appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
Just another community service by Wade and Carter.
Chris Conrad, good morning.
Mostly by Wade. It was a Wade community service.
Chris Ray Brissett wondering why Hunter Biden hasn't been arrested. Well, that's pretty obvious. He's Dad's the president. Dad's the president. That's why.
Billy Carter wasn't arrested either.
His dad wasn't president.
Right.
His brother was.
You got to have the anti-president, Billy Beer. I mean, he's like, I just had to find a way to make some money. I like beer. So.
Murders in this country up 30% between 2019 and 2020, according to FBI annual crime statistics.
Hello, John Anderson, my brother.
It's got to be the lockdown. Ron Sitka checking in from Conroe.
Big in Conroe. I bet Ronnie's playing golf today in Conroe.
I bet you.
That's nice.
Is that Lake Walden area?
Well, you got Walden there. You've got River Plantations, an old track over there. There's also Conroe Country Club's a 9-holer that everybody really raves about. And you're only about 10 minutes down to all those Woodlands courses. Yeah. I guarantee you his clubs are with him. I don't know if he's playing, but his clubs are
They're always in the car. He probably went that way to escape the rain.
Right.
Jackie Parsons, good morning. So murders are up, but overall crime was down about 6% in the last year.
Maybe criminals are being murdered. Maybe people that steal stuff are being murdered. Maybe that's why overall crime is down.
Or are people in families killing it? Was that the result? I can't imagine the 23,000 or almost 22,000 more homicides that were reported were.
Is it a 30%
spike would have been, I don't know.
Is it an avoidable assumption that domestic crime, domestic violence is up because of the pandemic?
I think there were some. Well,
just too much time together.
I think so.
Like if we had to do 3 hours every day together, we'd go to blows at some point.
Chris Conrad says our petty criminals are becoming murderers.
Legit.
Yeah, they're no longer kicking in windows and stealing change out of ashtrays. They're just going straight to murder, right?
Right.
But I mean, I'm no analyst of this data, but to me, both of those overall crime down 6%, murders up 30% or whatever it was. Make sure I get that right. 30%, 19 to 20, has to be directly related to the lockdowns that were in effect, right?
Yep.
Because you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't do anything, so you weren't going to go and burglarize.
So is HR being sarcastic? I want to make sure I get his point right, because he says it probably has nothing to do with low or no bonds for gun crimes in Harris County, Chicago, etc. Is he being sarcastic?
Yeah,
there?
I think he's being sarcastic,
which is fine. I want to make sure I get the point right, because he's usually right.
I'd be curious to know whether or not there was any rise in Chicago or Harris County or places that have a lot of murders anyway. The murder rate stayed pretty much the same in the country.
Yeah, Clint Ives asked the obvious question: are those murders deemed COVID deaths? The guy is laying there with a pool of blood, gray matter everywhere, a hole in his head.
Easy to do the PCR test at that point.
Yeah, you just test him, run that